The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, punctuated by distant starlight and the low hum of the Celestial Guardian's engines. Lieutenant J. Park sat in the command chair, his eyes fixed on the holographic display that mapped the treacherous asteroid field of the Omega Quadrant. His fingers tapped nervously against the armrest, sensing something was off about this sector. Tactical systems chirped with sudden intensity. Proximity alerts flashed red across the ship's main screen. Something was approaching, and it wasn't friendly. Hana Kim guided her sleek fighter through the asteroid field, her species' advanced targeting systems locked onto the human vessel. She had been trained for this moment her entire life, to eliminate human resistance and expand her empire's territorial control. The Cronus Empire had spent decades preparing for this precise engagement, and she was their most skilled warrior. The first wave of plasma missiles erupted from her fighter, cutting through the cold vacuum of space with devastating precision. The Celestial Guardian's shields flickered under the unexpected assault. Jay's calm voice cut through the chaos. "Evasive maneuvers. Defensive pattern Delta." Bridge officers moved with practiced efficiency. Young recruits who had trained for years suddenly found themselves in the middle of their first real battle. Sweat beaded on foreheads. Hands moved swiftly across control panels. Hana's fighter danced between massive asteroids, her weapon systems, charging for another devastating strike. She had been told humans were weak, unprepared, easy targets. But something about this ship's response felt different. They weren't panicking. They were strategizing. Jay analyzed the incoming attack patterns. The alien fighter moved with incredible speed and precision. Its design was unlike anything in human combat databases. Sharp angular lines, impossible turning radius, advanced energy signatures that suggested technology far beyond current human capabilities. "Incoming secondary wave," shouted Tactical Officer Shin. "Shields at 62% capacity." The ship shuddered, alarms blared. Emergency lighting flickered momentarily, casting red shadows across the bridge. This was no routine patrol. This was a full-scale assault. Hana felt confident. Her training had prepared her for every possible human counterattack. Her people's intelligence suggested humans would be disorganized, emotional, prone to making mistakes under pressure. But the crew of the Celestial Guardian moved like a single organism, coordinated, disciplined, determined. A sudden asteroid collision changed everything. Hana's fighter took an unexpected hit, spinning out of its perfect attack trajectory. Warning systems screamed inside her cockpit. Navigation controls became unresponsive. She was losing control. "Mayday. Mayday." Her communication system transmitted automatically in the Cronus language. But no rescue was coming. She was alone. The massive human ship loomed closer. Hana braced for destruction, knowing her fighter would be obliterated within seconds. Her entire life of training, of believing in her empire's superiority, condensed into this single moment of potential defeat. But destruction never came. Instead, her damaged fighter was guided into the ship's cargo bay through a precise tractor beam. No weapons fired, no immediate threat detected. Just a controlled, almost gentle landing that suggested something fundamentally different about these humans. J. Park watched the landing carefully. His decision to capture rather than destroy was unconventional. But something about this pilot's skill, about the precise nature of the attack, suggested valuable intelligence could be gained. "Prepare medical teams," he ordered, "and full containment protocols." The cargo bay filled with a soft blue containment field. Specialized medical droids stood ready. Everything was calculated, precise, waiting. Hana Kim remained in her damaged fighter, unable to move, watching through her cracked cockpit as human figures approached. Her training had prepared her for torture, for interrogation, but nothing prepared her for what would happen next. This was more than a battle. This was a moment that would change everything she understood about warfare, about humanity, about her own people's beliefs. The first human steps approached her damaged fighter. Metal creaked. Systems hummed. A moment of absolute uncertainty hung in the air. First contact had just become something entirely unexpected. The cargo bay's sterile environment hummed with quiet tension. Specialized medical teams in sleek protective suits approached Hana Kim's damaged fighter. Lieutenant J. Park watched carefully from a secure observation room, his hands clasped behind his back. Containment protocols activated with a soft electronic whisper. The fighter's damaged hull was carefully cut open, revealing Hana's injured body. Her armor was cracked, multiple wounds visible beneath the intricate battlesuit. Blood, surprisingly similar to human blood, leaked from several deep cuts. Medical drone units moved with precision. One scanned her vital signs while another prepared emergency treatment protocols. Hana's eyes flickered between consciousness and darkness, her body fighting against multiple system failures. "Vital signs unstable," announced the lead medical technician. "Multiple fractures, potential internal bleeding, unknown physiological responses to standard human medical procedures." Jay understood the risk. An alien warrior, potentially dangerous, now completely vulnerable. Military protocol would suggest immediate isolation or elimination. But something in her fighting technique and the precise nature of her attack suggested she was more than just another enemy soldier. As medical teams worked, Hana slowly regained partial consciousness. Her first sensation was confusion. The expected pain of battle, the anticipated moment of execution, neither had arrived. Instead, careful hands were treating her wounds. Advanced medical technology worked to stabilize her system. "Why?" she mumbled in her native language, her translator struggling to convert the complex emotional undertone. A medical technician responded in calm, measured tones. "You are injured. We provide medical care." Hana's combat training had taught her that enemies showed no mercy. The Cronus Empire's propaganda described humans as ruthless destroyers, beings who would eliminate any threat without hesitation. Yet, here she was, receiving medical treatment from the very species she had been sent to destroy. J. Park entered the medical bay, his movements deliberate and calm. He studied her carefully, noting every reaction. Her body language suggested confusion, fear, but also a growing sense of something unexpected, perhaps respect. "Your fighter showed remarkable design," Jay said, speaking directly to her. "Advanced energy management, unique propulsion systems." Hana tried to move but found herself carefully restrained. Medical devices continued their silent work, knitting her wounds, stabilizing her critical systems. The medical team discovered something fascinating. Despite being an alien species, Hana's biological systems responded remarkably well to human medical technology. Her body's cellular structure showed incredible adaptability, a trait that would fascinate human scientists for years to come. Hours passed. Hana's condition stabilized. The initial threat of death transformed into a strange moment of unexpected connection. Her warrior training collapsed against the reality of human compassion. "We do not kill wounded prisoners," Jay explained, simply when she finally asked why they had saved her. Those few words carried more weight than entire diplomatic treaties. The cargo bay, once a potential battlefield, now became something else entirely, a place of unexpected understanding. A moment where two different species might actually communicate. Beyond violence, Hana's damaged fighter sat nearby, a silent witness to this extraordinary encounter. Technological pieces scattered around told a story of battle, of precision, of incredible engineering from both her civilization and the humans. Medical technicians continued their careful work. Each movement calculated, each procedure designed to preserve life, regardless of its origin. As artificial healing systems worked, Hana drifted between consciousness and sleep. Her last coherent thought before surrendering to medical sedation was simple. These humans were nothing like what she had been told. The observation room remained silent. J. Park watched carefully, understanding that this moment represented more than just saving an enemy soldier. This was a potential bridge between civilizations. Outside the medical bay, the Celestial Guardian continued its journey through the vast cold darkness of space. Stars flickered. Distant planets rotated. And here, in this small medical unit, something remarkable was happening. A moment of unexpected humanity. Hana Kim, warrior of the Cronus Empire, slept. Her body healing. Her understanding of the universe, slowly, quietly transforming. The medical bay gradually transformed into an unexpected classroom of understanding. Hana Kim, still recovering from her injuries, found herself surrounded by human medical staff who treated her with a level of care that defied everything she had been taught about human behavior. Lieutenant J. Park visited regularly, bringing historical records, scientific documents, and carefully selected information about human civilization. Each interaction chipped away at the propaganda Hana had believed her entire life. Your people have complex social structures, Jay explained, showing her holographic displays of Earth's diverse cultures. Images of cities, scientific achievements, and humanitarian efforts flickered before her eyes. She saw children from different backgrounds learning together, medical teams helping during global disasters, scientists working to solve environmental challenges. The Cronus Empire had portrayed humans as violent conquerors, but these images told a different story, a story of cooperation, of healing, of understanding. One particular moment struck Hana deeply. A holographic record showed a human medical team risking their lives to save children during a massive earthquake in a remote mountain region. They worked tirelessly without concern for national boundaries or personal risk. The compassion was overwhelming. We are not perfect, Jay said honestly. Humans have conflict. We have wars. We make mistakes. But we also try to learn, to grow, to understand. Medical technicians continued Hana's treatment, using advanced technology that seemed almost magical. Nanobots repaired her internal injuries. Specialized healing chambers accelerated her recovery. Each procedure was designed to preserve life, not destroy it. Hana learned about human scientific achievements. She discovered how humans had overcome seemingly impossible challenges. They had explored deep oceans, reached distant planets, developed medical treatments that saved millions of lives. Their curiosity seemed limitless. The ship's library became her classroom. She consumed information about human history, not just the conflicts, but the moments of incredible unity. The way humans had come together during global challenges. How they had fought against discrimination. How they continued to push the boundaries of knowledge. Commander Lee occasionally visited, bringing additional context. He shared stories about human exploration, about the philosophical debates that drove their scientific discoveries. Hana realized that human civilization was far more complex than her people's intelligence reports had suggested. She learned about human art, about music that could make people cry, about paintings that captured entire emotional landscapes, about literature that explored the deepest parts of consciousness. The Cronus Empire had never mentioned these aspects of human culture. Jay brought her books. Not digital records, but actual physical books. A rare treasure in space exploration. She touched pages that had been carefully preserved, feeling the texture of human knowledge. Each book was a window into a different world, a different perspective. Her translator worked, over time, converting complex human concepts into her native language. But some emotions, some experiences, seemed to transcend translation. The medical bay became more than a place of healing. It became a bridge between two civilizations. Hana's understanding of humans transformed with each passing day. The warrior, who had entered the ship ready to destroy, now found herself fascinated by the complexity of human existence. We are not your enemy, Jay said one evening, showing her images of human scientific expeditions. We are explorers. We seek to understand, not to conquer. Hana's previous training seemed like a distant memory. The propaganda of the Cronus Empire began to crumble, replaced by a more nuanced understanding of humanity. Her body healed. But something more profound was happening. Her perspective was healing. Her understanding was expanding. The Celestial Guardian continued its journey through space, carrying this unlikely student of human culture. Stars moved past the viewport. Distant planets rotated in their orbits. And here, in this small medical Bay, a revolution was happening, not with weapons, but with understanding. Hana Kim was no longer just a warrior. She was becoming something else entirely. A bridge between civilizations, a witness to a different way of existing. The universe watched, silent and patient. The decision weighed heavily on Hana Kim. Commander Lee and Lieutenant J. Park watched her carefully as she considered her options. Return to the Cronus Empire or seek asylum with humans, a choice that would change everything she knew. Her recovery had transformed more than just her physical body. Her entire understanding of the universe had shifted. The propaganda of her people now seemed like a distant, childish memory. The ship's communication center became her new training ground. Hana learned human communication protocols, diplomatic, language, and complex translation techniques. Her natural warrior's discipline made her an exceptional student. Commander Lee recognized her potential immediately. "You understand both sides," he explained. "Your knowledge could prevent a potential war." Diplomatic translations began. Hana decoded Cronus Empire communication patterns, revealing strategic information that could save thousands of lives. Her warrior training became a diplomatic tool. Precise, calculated, but now driven by understanding rather than destruction. The Celestial Guardians communication team worked alongside her. Each intercepted message, each translated document, became a potential pathway to peace. Hana discovered she was becoming something entirely new, not just a soldier, but a bridge between civilizations. Her personal quarters reflected her transformation. Cronus military documents sat next to human history books. Star maps from her original mission were now covered with diplomatic notes and potential negotiation strategies. J. Park watched her evolution with quiet fascination. The warrior who had attacked their ship was now working to prevent further conflict. Her motivation had shifted from blind obedience to genuine understanding. Training sessions became intense. Hana learned human negotiation techniques, studied complex cultural protocols, and developed communication strategies that could potentially save entire planetary systems from conflict. The ship's artificial intelligence began running complex simulation scenarios. Hana's insights proved invaluable. She understood the Cronus Empire's thought processes in ways no human intelligence could previously decode. "Your people are not evil," she told the human commanders. "They are afraid, trapped by their own limited understanding." Her words carried weight. Her personal transformation became a potential diplomatic breakthrough. Communication with the Cronus Empire became a delicate dance. Each message was carefully constructed, each translation a potential pathway to peace. Hana became the unexpected hero, a warrior who chose understanding over conflict. The medical bay where she had first been treated now seemed like a distant memory. She had moved from a wounded enemy to a critical diplomatic asset. Her warrior training now served a different purpose, building connections instead of destroying them. Commander Lee recognized the historical significance of this moment. "You are changing everything," he told her during one strategy session. Hana's response was simple but powerful. "I am showing another way." The ship's crew watched her with a mixture of respect and fascination. The alien warrior who had attacked them was now their most valuable team member. Her dedication, her precision, her commitment to understanding became legendary among the human crew. Training continued. Language protocols, cultural understanding, diplomatic strategies. Hana absorbed everything with the same intensity she once reserved for military combat. Her quarters became a unique space, half Cronus military, half human diplomatic center. Star maps, communication logs, historical records covered every available surface. Each document represented a potential pathway to peace. The transformation was complete. Hana Kim was no longer just a warrior. She was a diplomat, a bridge, a potential savior of two civilizations. The Celestial Guardian moved through space carrying this remarkable individual. Stars moved past the viewport. Distant planets rotated in their orbits. And here, in this small diplomatic center, a revolution was happening, not with weapons but with understanding. The universe watched, silent and patient. The communication channel crackled with tension. Hana Kim sat at the primary communication console, her fingers moving with practiced precision. The Cronus Empire's leadership would receive her diplomatic transmission in moments. Lieutenant J. Park stood nearby, watching carefully. Months of preparation had led to this single moment. An entire potential war balanced on the edge of communication. Hana's translated message was direct and powerful. She explained the misunderstandings between their civilizations. She shared human scientific achievements, humanitarian efforts, and the potential for peaceful cooperation. Her words were a weapon more powerful than any plasma missile. The Cronus Empire's communications center fell silent after receiving the transmission. Hours passed. The Celestial Guardian waited, its crew holding collective breath. Finally, a response came. Not an attack, not a declaration of war, but a request for further dialogue. Commander Lee's face showed subtle emotion. "You've done something extraordinary," he told Hana. Her warrior training had transformed into diplomatic excellence. The ship's diplomatic team worked around the clock. Hana's insights proved crucial. She understood the Cronus Empire's cultural nuances in ways no human intelligence could previously comprehend. Holographic displays showed potential cooperation scenarios, scientific exchanges, cultural understanding, technological collaborations. What had started as a potential battlefield became a pathway to mutual growth. Hana's personal journey became a symbol of hope, a warrior who chose understanding over conflict. Her story spread quickly among both human and Cronus communication networks. The Celestial Guardian became more than a military vessel. It transformed into a diplomatic bridge. Each communication, each carefully constructed message, represented a step toward peaceful coexistence. Diplomatic negotiations continued for weeks. Hana translated not just language but cultural context. She explained human motivations. She revealed the complexity of human civilization that the Cronus Empire had never understood. Scientific teams began collaborating. Technological exchanges happened. What seemed impossible months ago now became reality. Two civilizations once, on the brink of total war, now explored mutual understanding. J. Park watched Hana during one critical negotiation. Her warrior discipline now served a different purpose. She was fighting for peace, not with weapons, but with words, with understanding. The Cronus Empire's leadership slowly changed their perspective. Hana's diplomatic efforts revealed a fundamental truth, that differences could be bridges, not barriers. Star charts were redrawn, communication protocols established. What had been potential conflict zones became collaborative research areas. Hana Kim had essentially rewritten interstellar diplomatic history. Her personal quarters remained a testament to her journey. Cronus military documents sat alongside human scientific records. Star maps showed potential cooperation zones. Each document represented hope. The universe seemed to watch this remarkable transformation. Distant stars flickered, planets rotated in their silent orbits. And here, on this single starship, something extraordinary was happening. Commander Lee prepared a formal recommendation. Hana Kim would be recognized not just as a diplomatic asset, but as a potential savior of two civilizations. Her final report was simple but powerful. "Understanding is the most advanced weapon," she wrote. "Compassion our most powerful technology." The Celestial Guardian continued its journey, but now it carried something more than just a crew. It carried hope. It carried the potential for a different kind of future. Hana looked out the viewport. The stars seemed different now, not territories to be conquered, but worlds to be understood. Her transformation was complete, from a warrior ready to destroy to a diplomat ready to build, from an enemy to a bridge. The universe remained silent, but something had changed, fundamentally, permanently. A new chapter in interstellar history had begun.